The 4:55 a.m. alarm was a physical blow. Maya's hand slapped the chip-enabled wood veneer of her bedside table, her mouth tasting of stale ambition and too-weak coffee. On the smart glass wall, her Aura interface glowed, not with promise, but with demands. Project Orion overdue. Mom's bio monitor, elevated stress markers. Gym streak broken, 3 days. Her life was a high-precision machine, and she was the failing component. This isn't a futuristic fantasy, it's 2025. The friction isn't about lacking technology, but about being overwhelmed by it. Aura is an evolution of current productivity and health apps, so integrated it's oppressive. The chip-enabled furniture and smart glass are natural progressions of today's IoT devices. Then, piece by piece, the friction was sanded away. The client was a non-profit for at-risk youth. The budget was laughable, the inner city plot a concrete scar. Maya's initial sketches felt like putting lipstick on a bunker. Desperate, she opened Soma, the AI plugin her firm had finally subscribed to. Instead of a magic box, Soma is a technical partner. She didn't just type, "Make a happy space." She input hard constraints. Budget, less than $2.5 million. Materials, recycled steel, cross-laminated timber. Solar gain, maximize south face. Zoning, FAR 3.5. Community need, safe indoor, outdoor fluidity. The AI didn't give her a finished masterpiece. It generated a seed model. Then, using a neural interface headset, a clunky, second-gen thing that gave her a headache, she sculpted in VR. Soma, iterate the north facade. More diffuse light. The structure morphed in real time, the AI calculating structural integrity and cost simultaneously. She was the artist. Soma was the physics engine, the materials expert, and the accountant, all in one. The final design was a stunning, viable structure born from a true collaboration. Her boss's comment wasn't, "Great AI work," but, "Maya, this is brilliant. How did you even think of this roof form?" The victory isn't that the AI did the work, it's that it amplified her genius, making the impossible possible and evoking professional awe. Her side hustle ceramics Instagram got a DM. It was in Korean. The translation apps she'd used butchered the polite formalities into cold, transactional text. She opened Babel 7. Babel 7 isn't perfect. There's a slight lag. She pinned the conversation to her smart glasses. The Korean text shimmered, and an English transcript overlay appeared. But the AI did something more. Cultural note. Sender uses highly respectful honorifics, indicating a serious business inquiry. Recommended response tone, grateful and formal. She spoke her reply in English. "I'm so thrilled you like my work. The river stone vase is available, and I can discuss custom commissions." In her ear, she heard the AI speak in a calm, respectful female voice in Korean. On the sender's end, they heard her own voice, speaking their language. The deal was sealed. Later, she video called her Avu in Lisbon. Her grandmother's face, wreathed in smiles, as Babel 7 translated her rapid-fire Portuguese in near real time. The emotion in her Avu's eyes wasn't for the technology, but for the effortless connection. Maya didn't feel like a tech pioneer, she felt like a good granddaughter. The tool's value is shown through deepened human relationships and successful cultural nuance, moving beyond simple translation to genuine connection. Aura evolved from a nagging to-do list into a cognitive exoskeleton. It learned her patterns. This is the logical end of predictive analytics. It didn't just see doctor's appointment. It cross-referenced her location, calendar, and the city's traffic data. One morning, it pinged her softly. Analysis. Your stress biomarkers, elevated cortisol, restless sleep, correlate with days you skip meditation. I have defensively blocked 15 minutes at 11:45 a.m. The Tranquil Space VR module is preloaded. Also, your father's birthday is in 72 hours. Based on his recent browsing history, I suggest a specific biography of a Portuguese explorer. Shall I purchase and have it wrapped? It's slightly unnerving how well it knows her. The defensively blocked time shows proactive care, not just scheduling. It manages the mental load, the invisible labor of remembering birthdays and groceries, which is a profound, real-world burden. The community center required a biophilic wastewater recycling system. The engineering specs were a foreign language. She opened Socratic mind. The AI tutor diagnosed her ignorance through a brutal Q&A. Explain the principle of phytoremediation. Her fumbling answer led it to conclude, core misunderstanding, plant versus bacterial filtration. It didn't give her a textbook. It built a 10-minute micromodule. A 3D animation showed roots secreting enzymes to break down toxins, with text highlights keyed to her preferred learning style, visual kinesthetic. Then, it tested her with interactive diagrams she had to manipulate. It was a surgical strike on her knowledge gap, efficient and embarrassingly effective. This was the most personal tool. Burnout had left her creative well dry. On a whim, she described a feeling to Lumina, the melancholy of an empty train station at dawn, but with a hint of hope in the light. Lumina generated an image, not a cliché station, but the interior of her own ceramic kiln, the cooling pots glowing like distant cities in a vast, dark landscape. It was eerie and perfect. It then composed a sparse, ambient piano piece to match. The AI hadn't created for her, it had reflected her own emotion back at her, giving it form and sound. It was the key that unlocked the door she'd been leaning against for months. She went to her wheel and started throwing clay, not for an order, but for herself. The promotion came. That night, she sat on her floor, surrounded by sketches, some by her hand, some by Soma's algorithms. A half-finished pot, inspired by Lumina, spun slowly on her wheel. Aura had quietly cleared her weekend. The AIs hadn't given her a new life. They had given her back her old one, the one with space to think, to connect, to create. They hadn't removed the struggle, just the pointless noise. In 2025, that wasn't just a convenience. It was the difference between surviving her life and finally starting to live it.